Well, good morning, everyone. Ron and Debbie and Lighthouse Care want to extend a special thanks to everyone for coming out so early. We know that everyone has very busy days, so it's much appreciated that everyone is here bright and early. My name's Josh Bavas. I'm a reporter with 9 News Queensland. I've been with 9 News for about 3 years. Before that, I was working for ABC News. And I've known Ron and Debbie for about 10 years, going back to 2014. So thanks for having me. I'd just like to say thanks also to the special guests that are here. Federal Treasurer Jim Chalmers, the member for Rankin. Thanks very much for being here. Leeanne Enoch, Minister for Treaty, Minister for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Partnerships, Minister for Communities, Minister for the Arts and Member for Algester. Thank you for being here, Leeanne. We've got the newly elected Mayor of Logan, John Raven. Thank you, John. Congratulations. Former Councillor of Logan as well, so he knows how things operate. And also Councillors of Logan, Miriam Stemp, and also Mindy Russell. Thanks for being here. So a bit of housekeeping. The bathrooms are in the foyer of the new building. So maybe if you can hold off, but they are in there. There's free coffee until 9 o'clock as well. So make sure you get a cuppa. And there's lots of snacks around. So grab some of those too. I'd just like to introduce Aunty Robyn for Welcome to Country. Aunty Robyn.
Well, Woogabajara, everybody. Good morning in Yugonbear, and Jingari, hello, Jimbalungs, which is friends. What a wonderful morning, and how blessed are we today to come along to such a great place. Logan is very lucky to have so many organisations in the area, but Lighthouse really stands out. You've been going for 20 years. Not many organisations can say that, and it's awesome. I just want to say thank you to Debbie and her family and Joe, sorry, Deb, you're not married to another man, it's all good. It does, doesn't it? My apologies, I should get my stuff right before I start. What you have done is just excellent. As I said, with communities like Logan, we're helping all our families. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, whether you're Indigenous, whether you're with the called community, we all need help. And it's not hard to say, yes, I do need help, even though sometimes we hide behind barriers and we don't ask for it. But it's good to know that, I'm very fortunate to work in a really nice Indigenous organisation within the area, just 5 minutes away. But, we help our community as well. But these guys have been here, for a long time, and I thank you. And the majority of you know that I am a proud Mununjali woman through links on my dad's side and a Birigubba woman through links on my mum's side. What that means is, as a Mununjali woman, we're part of that Yugonbear language region, and that is a big region within this area of Logan. I'm actually a descendant of Billen, and he was known as the king of the Logan and the Pimpamar. And I'm honoured to stand up here today to give a welcome to country. Now, welcome to countries aren't something that just happens. It's something that we've been doing for a long, long time, and it's a tradition that's just been carried on by all of us. And I love doing them because I get the opportunity to meet so many different people from all walks of life. And I would like to acknowledge all elders of all cultures, both past, present and future. Without their knowledge, wisdom, guidance and forethought, we wouldn't be where we are today, and I sincerely give them thanks. So, again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you do, or Bugawani, which is thank you in Yugonbear. Everyone enjoy the day. I mean, it's beautiful. And let's keep continuing supporting all our community organisations in Logan because it's the best place to live, right? Yes. So, Bingi Walu, Walu Jimmy, welcome to Yugonbear country, and keep going, Lighthouse. Cheers.
So we're all here. It's been 20 years in the making. Everything looks very swish, it looks swanky, but it doesn't come without years and years of hard work. Ron and Debbie, you guys have been working right from the start. It's a loaves and fishes story. Anyone who doesn't believe that will explain that later. But I've known Ron and Debbie for about 10 years now. They're always there. They're my go-to. You're on speed dial. If ever I'm at a story and I come across someone who is in a real pickle, in real trouble, and I know that they can't get to a service quick enough, I pick up the phone, call Debbie. There was a time earlier this year when Bray Park was flooding, and there were street after street that had gone underwater, and there were a lot of people there in distress. And I spoke to one woman, and she had to make the choice a few months prior because she couldn't afford her insurance for her house anymore, and she was deciding, do I keep the insurance for my house or for my car? And she chose to leave it just for her car because she knew that she was driving to and from work, and she had a chance that she might have an accident, and nothing's ever happened to the house. Well, then the rain came and Bray Park flooded, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, her house filled up with water. They lost all their electrical goods, nothing was insured. They have 2 kids, and her husband had recently been diagnosed with early onset dementia. Now, this woman was in a state of affairs when I came across her, and I didn't know how to help her other than do an interview and raise awareness. But that's when I called Debbie, and Debbie was she was in the middle of something else, but Debbie and Josh and Rochelle, they dropped everything and they took a load of groceries over, they took vouchers, and they were there helping quite a few people in the street. And I think to that woman in her hour of need, that meant a lot. But it just goes to show how dire some situations are. And when you have organisations like this who can just spring into action, that's what means the difference to someone who's in a crisis. So, Ron and Debbie, I'd like to invite you up, and you can...
Thank you, Josh.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here today. We really appreciate your support. My new name now is Joe. So, actually, I like that better than Ron. I answer to most things, but just don't call me late for lunch, So it's my privilege today to open in prayer, and I hope you'll join me as we ask for God's help in what we're doing here today. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your amazing love. I pray that each one of us will sense how much you love us and care for us today. As we gather today for the official opening of Lighthouse Care, we humbly ask for your blessing upon the vision to bring hope, support and encouragement to all in our community. May our efforts to serve be guided by your compassion and wisdom and love. Grant us the strength to make a meaningful difference in the lives of those in need. And may our actions reflect the values of kindness and generosity. Bless all of our wonderful supporters who help support the most vulnerable families and individuals. And may the work continue to bring hope and healing to our community. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Thanks, babe. Well, good morning. Yay. We're here. Woo. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. And whether you were at Lighthouse, looking at Lighthouse for the first time, or whether you've been with us from the start, it's a privilege to have every single one of you. We stand in this moment of time grateful for the journey of the past 2 decades. It's been an adventure and a half. Our journey has definitely been one of impossibility and determination, but mostly love. Ron and I bought our first home in Logan in 1986, and my heart has been locked into these streets and our people, the people that we love, that we serve, that we pray for, and that we've given our lives for over the past 37 years. I honour my parents today for their Logan legacy. My mum is our longest serving volunteer. She has barely missed a week in the last 20 years. I'm still in awe of their willingness in 2009 to join Ron and I in putting the equity of our homes into this dream to get us over the line. In the end, it wasn't necessary, but their strong, bold, absolute willingness to say yes still floors me today. Ron and I have 5 boys: Tim, Matt, Nate, Josh, and Dan. And I just want to say, in this moment, boys, take a breath and look around. We stand in something that is so impossible. I know you guys see it as a lot of hard work, but for heaven's sake, we've got Jim Chalmers in the car park. Woo! How amazing is that? How amazing is that? Woo! And the beautiful Leanne Enoch, of course. She's already part of the family. Who would have thought that having 5 boys, that was the best thing that could happen to a woman? I certainly did not think so at the time. My dream was definitely 2 ballet girls. When we started Lighthouse, our boys were young teenagers, and they have served the dream alongside us every day. From making packages on a Friday night to give out on Saturdays, to their leadership roles in this organisation. Their incredible sacrifice. Matt worked for 12 months at the age of 18 for not a cent because he believed in this dream. I remember Tim and Matt saying that they got to share 200 a week when we finally gave them something. The youngest 3 know nothing but volunteering and serving in this organisation from babies pretty much. But their dedication and hard work have made this possible. They are spectacular men, and definitely Ron and my greatest achievement. They know the power of sacrificing in the present to build something amazing for the future. They have sacrificed beyond what most people could understand to build what is now Lighthouse Care. They now have beautiful wives who believe in this beacon of hope that impacts the lives of multiple thousands of families. That Ron and I get to serve in a beautiful community with such dedicated men is an incredible honour, and that we get to do it every day is beyond my wildest dreams. In 2009, our beautiful niece Brittany, while studying for her Bachelor of Commerce, started doing our banking. Again, incomprehensible sacrifice now sees her as our business manager. We must have had thousands of volunteers over the years who have linked arms with us to become a net of hope and love. Everyone is so precious. I'd love to give a special shout out to some of our long-standing volunteers, Ali, Lorraine, Jim O'Day, for the insane amount of hours they have contributed. Thank you to all our staff, past and present. This place is not a job. We're definitely not a regular supermarket. On top of your job, you are listening ears and givers of hope. We endlessly see people in crisis, hopelessness and distress, people not knowing how they're going to cope, not knowing how they're going to feed their families. They're maxing out and stressed, and we get to change all of that. To all of our Lighthouse shoppers, remember that by shopping at Lighthouse, not only are you getting a bargain for your family, but you're helping us to support the most vulnerable people in our community through our trolley initiative. To our Lighthouse heroes and supporters, a year ago you saw a vision board of what now stands before us. Our new 80 pallet cold room and 120 pallet freezer, our extra 400 pallet storage, our packing and assembly line, that makes over 800 of our famous $25 trolleys a week, has now moved to our new warehouse further down the street. Our about to be opened brand new store stands right before us. We hope that you can enjoy its vibe. Lighthouse heroes and supporters, we hope that each one of you feels incredibly proud. There is one thing that Ron and I as founders are extremely proud of, and that is that throughout our journey, the main thing has remained the main thing. People. People are our priority. 1, 2, and 3. That people from every single walk of life are treated with dignity. My own mental breakdown that landed me in the Logan psych ward ignited a desire to create a judgment-free organisation that loves unconditionally. And here at Lighthouse, we strive to bring dignity to all people, from the homeless, addicted person to the mother escaping DV, from the one experiencing an accident or a health challenge to the one that's going through a relationship breakdown, from the double income family now enduring hardship through the unexpected interest rate rises and cost of living challenges, from never needing help before to our precious seniors who may be underprepared. All of these situations continue to cause huge anxiety and stress levels and mental health issues throughout our community. Our new store is helping to bring dignity to those people as we continue to strive for excellence. Our greatest joy is witnessing the transformation of people and bringing hope and peace. After 20 years, We are starting to see generationally changed lives, yay, as cycles break, and that truly is our greatest reward. Every week, our phones are ringing from other organisations asking us to help them do what we've done. From across the country, even over the Tasman, people come to explore what they believe is a reduplicatable model. Our state-of-the-art website is attracting attention nationally as we are placed as a national leader in the industry. It is amazing that 90% of everything that we do here at Lighthouse is done in-house, headed up by our 5 boys. We're now about to celebrate a 7th month renovation, ripping out walls, endless skip bins, painting, plastering, concreting, a full rebrand, lots of early mornings and late nights on top of your everyday jobs. Not-for-profits never have enough money. So again, I want to thank Ron, Jim O'Day and all of our boys for delivering a first-class job. The Lighthouse journey has been always done with practically no money. I'd just like to say, imagine what we could do if we had some. Well, it feels like the block. Tools down, yay! The paintbrushes were still flickering around at 9 o'clock last night, but in a few minutes we'll walk through into our new store. It is very exciting. Treasurer at Jim Chalmers, thank you incredibly for joining us today. It really means the world that you would do this for us. You came here in 2016 with a $20,000 grant. That's some of the biggest we've ever had, I'll just say. And that went into the delivery of our first truck. Matt was pointing out that it's over there. And we are so excited for you to see what that investment has become. Home delivery right across southeast Queensland. Thanks also to my beautiful friend and colleague, Gail Kerr, and of course the amazing Mr. Josh Bavas, who is just a spectacular support to Lighthouse always. We're going to see you all at our 20th birthday celebrations, 22nd of June. Viva Las Vegas. If you want to save some cash, who doesn't want to do that? Book a table in the next week. Use the code VEGASBABY and you'll get $200 off your table, $250 off your table. Please enjoy this brief story of one of our families. Thank you, everybody.
This week, the Reserve Bank raised interest rates for the 12th time in a row to their highest level in 12 years.
In the Napoleonic Wars, there was no effective price control. To get the necessities of life, people had to pay so much money in the first year of these long and bitter wars.
Middle class is disappearing very quickly, and it just doesn't seem right to me that families who are hardly making ends meet, well, banks want to just make huge profits and bigger profits than ever before. It's just heartbreaking to think people are going to lose their homes, like they're planning on selling now, and that takes with it the great Australian dream. It takes the hope for the future. It takes the security that a family knows and knowing that they have their own home, and that just makes me incredibly sad.
There can be but one answer. The fight against inflation must go on.
In 1994, when I was 30, I became a police officer. I met my husband Sean working in the police in the floods in Charleville. We worked together. We were trying to have a baby on IVF, and when we hadn't for 7 years, we thought, it's not going to happen to us, we're going to be dinks. Double income, no kids, let's buy this gigantic big house and go into a great amount of debt, which we did. And then on our last lot of IVF, we were lucky enough to get a baby, and Nathan, gift from God, that's what the name means. When he was 2, we found out that he was autistic, which was really hard, and I stayed at home looking after him. Sean was working lots of hours and he was in charge of the motorbike section there. He worked really hard, lots of hours every day, lots of overtime every week to pay for Nathan's therapy and, just our bills. We were fine, but then he had a really bad traffic accident. He was run off the road on the M1 at Daisy Hill when he was helping an ambulance through traffic to a truck rollover. And he went into some roadworks and lost control of the motorbike and hit the cement wall. Broke his back and destroyed 8 or 9 discs in his back. Long story short, after 2 years, they decided that he was not going to ever be employable again. We were really struggling. We'd spent all of our savings, booked up our cards, just trying to keep going, paying a mortgage and paying medical treatment for Nathan and for Sean. So we got into a really dark and ugly place where we had no money. And I came here and they helped. Deb came up to me and just started talking and made me feel welcome and made me feel like I wasn't alone and I didn't have to be embarrassed. And they gave me a trolley and I didn't even have to pay for it, which was amazing. I couldn't believe it because it really helped us. Every time I come here, I get support. I've made friends. I volunteered to come in and pack groceries on the weekend and help. You always associate places where they give out food and clothing and things like that as where the people that just can't be bothered working go to, and it's wrong. I've seen people here who drive the fanciest cars but their business has gone under. They can come here and not be judged. Our community needs this place, and if anyone can support it, they really should, because what they've done for my family is amazing.
Powerful video there. And I think the reoccurring theme is that it's dignity that Lighthouse Care is offering. Now I'd like to introduce a man with one of the most stressful jobs in the country right now, and a man who probably has a constant line of people at his door, waiting, knocking and asking. Federal Treasurer Jim Chalmers, would you like to come up? Thank you for being here, and we're honoured to have you here.
Well, thanks very much, Josh. We already thought the world of Josh as a trusted source of news across a couple of organisations in the time that Josh and I have known each other, but to know that you are involved here and friends with the family and a big supporter of what they're trying to achieve here is just really terrific, mate. So thank you for being here this morning and for directing traffic. Yeah, please put your hands together for Josh. And Aunty Robyn, thanks for welcoming us in your characteristically kind and warm way and engaging way, and for sharing culture with us. And I also acknowledge the first people of this part of the world, and acknowledge that people have been looking out for each other and sharing food and culture and knowledge and teaching each other and learning from each other on this part of Australia for tens of thousands of years as well. Thank you so much, Aunty Robyn, for being here. There's a real family vibe about today, and you think about all of the workers and volunteers who are here. You think about everybody here who seems to know each other in one way or another. We're so fortunate in our local community to have the sorts of community leaders that we have, and that's one of the reasons why I know that Leanne and Miriam and Mindy and John Raven, and before John, Pam Parker, we absolutely love working with you and working for you and serving alongside you. Everybody who has the same kind of objectives and the same kind of aspirations for our local community. It is genuinely like a family. And from the first person I saw today, which was Jim, really to seeing all of these familiar faces and all of these wonderful people, there is genuinely, I think, a real family vibe about today. And I wanted to acknowledge, thinking about and talking about family, I wanted to acknowledge Gail Kerr. And Gail is known to literally every single person in Logan City and much further afield as well. But I particularly wanted to single Gail out, and I've made sure this is okay with her, because I wanted to mention that Gail lost her dad in the last few days. And anybody who knows anything about Logan City knows how absolutely central Des and Nolene and Gail and that wonderful, wonderful family has been to the way that our community has evolved over a really long time now. So I wondered if you wouldn't mind paying tribute to Des and thanking Gail as well. And thinking about and talking about family, I'm sorry, Gail, if I made that tough, I didn't mean to. I just wanted to pay tribute to a really, truly great man. And then thinking about and talking about family, it is hard to go past this wonderful family that's responsible here for Lighthouse. And to Debbie and to Ron and to the 5 boys, the full basketball team, it really is quite remarkable what you've been able to achieve. Really is quite remarkable. And to meet Evan and to know that he's running Meals on Wheels at the same time, there's something really special about your family and what you've been able to achieve together. And my kids are a bit smaller than your kids, but if I could think at some future point that my kids had shown the level of interest and the level of commitment to our local community, that would be a big, big win. You've obviously done something spectacularly right to have all 5 of these boys so engaged in the work that you do. And again, you know, in acknowledging Leanne and acknowledging Triple M, Mindy, Miriam, and the Mayor, actually 2 mayors, 4 M's. You know, getting to know you over the years has been one of the really fun and really rewarding parts of our work as well. Did I steal your joke, mate?
Oh, no, I was just saying, if you mentioned Triple M around me, I get a little bit.
Right, yeah, sorry, I can't mention the competitor radio station. Sorry, mate. I'll think of a better way to say how wonderful Miriam and Mindy and the Mayor and the mayors are. And when it comes to Miriam and Mindy, you're very fortunate. We're very fortunate to have them serve and go around for another term. When I say that they are 2 of the best councillors, I don't just mean in our local community. It's hard to find a couple of better, more committed councillors than Miriam and Mindy, and so it's good to have them here as well. But for all of us, you know, we have spent a bit of time together over the years with this wonderful family, and particularly in my case, Debbie. It was a real joy to be able to rustle up a few bucks for that truck over there, which I hope is still going strong. I'll see if I can find someone who drives it. They can give me a nod or a shake of the head, whether or not it's still going strong. But to support you is a genuine honour. And we can also learn from you. And one of the things, and Gail and I were talking about this in a way a moment ago, but one of the things that we can learn from all of you and from all of you more broadly is that our community has enough talkers. You know, we really need doers, you know, and you are doers. You know, it would be easy enough to sit around the kitchen table and think, wouldn't it be great if we had a massive supermarket where you could get a trolley full of stuff for free or for 25 bucks? Wouldn't that be amazing? That'd be really cool. And everyone sort of nod and say, yeah, that'd be really cool. But to actually do it, to be doers and not just talkers, I think is the real blessing. And the real theme of today, I think, is gratitude. Aunty Robyn talked about a blessing, and I think about the gratitude that we have for you and for each other, and for all of the people that you've helped over a really long period of time now. And in acknowledging that you are doers, and in learning from you, the thing that we can learn from you is that you are always facing forwards and not back. You know, you're thinking about what is the next thing. What is the next thing and the thing after that and the thing after that, and how do we get bigger and more worthy and more helpful? And we can learn that from you as well. But even as we acknowledge that you are faced forward and you're thinking about the next thing and the next thing after that, you know, a big party like this does give us the opportunity to acknowledge and recognise how far you've come as well. You know, operating out of a garage in Eagleby just down the road, opening up, I think it was Hillcrest was the next one. I've spent time with you in the warehouse before and with your boys. It really is quite remarkable how far you've come. And so acknowledging that you are facing forward and you're opening up new enterprises and new opportunities for people, we also thank you for how far you've come. The last set of points I'll make is this, and really watching that video makes me really understand even more that all of us have got different opportunities, and I've got this remarkable opportunity to serve our local community and to work for our country as Treasurer at the same time. And what I really appreciate and what this community has given me as a genuine gift as I go about being the best kind of Treasurer that I can be at the national level as well, is to recognise that nationally we can do all of the things that we're proud of. You know, $25 billion to build heaps more homes, particularly social homes. permanent increase to job seeker and working age payments, something decent for single parents, all of the investment we're making in cheaper medicines and cheaper education and fee-free TAFE, the energy rebates, all of these things that we're trying to do at the national level to help people who are doing it tough, and more people are doing it tough. Without local champions delivering on the ground for local people, we can't be as effective as we need to be. It needs to be not one thing, national, or another thing, local, but national and local working together. And so I really cherish the opportunity to do what I can in my role and to support you in doing what you do here at this beautiful place as well. Today is about gratitude. It's our gratitude for you and your absolutely indispensable role in our community. It's important all of the time, but it's especially important when people are doing it especially tough. So from all of us, to you and your family and to all of your people here at Lighthouse, we just really can't thank you enough.
Thanks very much, Treasurer. And now one of Queensland's longest serving ministers in the Queensland Parliament, who's had many roles and responsibilities, from science to environment and now to communities, probably one of the most important that we need right now. I'd like to invite up Leanne Enoch.
Thank you so much, Josh. Can I begin in the Jandai language of my people, the Quandamooka people? Yura, Narababajabaru, Wanya Yura, Nyagurajan, Jagajan, Yugambe Yura. So to acknowledge all of our ancestors from wherever you come from, whatever your culture, and of course to acknowledge the first peoples of this country on which we're meeting today, who, as you well know, have maintained cultural practices on this country for thousands of generations. And every day we get to breathe in the DNA of the thousands of generations of story, and we get to carry that around with us and contribute to the next bit of breath that we take in to each other. I want to acknowledge Jim, and of course I want to acknowledge the stars of the show today, Debbie and Ron, or otherwise known as Joe, and the whole Hill family, but the Logan family, who have joined together to make this such a success for families across our area. Can I acknowledge that we've had John Raven, the newly appointed mayor here, our former mayor, the beautiful Pam Parker, and of course our great councillors that are here as well. And we couldn't be more lucky, I guess, to have our very own Treasurer of Australia sitting here in this audience, but in our neighbourhood. So thank you so much, Jim, for being here. I've got a whole heap of words I could talk to you about the masses of work that we're doing to address cost of living in this state, and you know that is a major focus for the state government. But I want to talk as somebody who just lives here. I grew up in Woodridge, not far from here. I've spent most of my life in Logan. This is my home. But there's something that I've been watching lately across the state. And just recently I was in a workshop, a weaving workshop, where women were weaving. And as you watch it, the tension of the different threads that they pull together in the weave to make it a particular style, it reminded me that right across the state, everywhere you go, particularly in Indigenous communities, there's a particular style that belongs to that community. That is a lighthouse. And when you see it, you recognise it, because it is absolutely held together with all of those good, strong values that we hold so strong as human beings, but as we hold strong in Logan. So I want to thank Debbie and Ron, the Hill family, but all of you who have contributed to this incredibly recognisable weave that we are all part of. And I hope that from today, when this fantastic establishment is now opened after 20 years, that we see our weave even stronger, and that people across this area and across the southeast Queensland understand their strength when they see this weave that we've created together. Congratulations, and thank you so much for letting us to being all here today. Thank you.
All right, well, we're just preparing to have the official ribbon cutting very soon, but I just want to explain in under 90 seconds, just crunch the 20 years of work down into 90 seconds. And earlier I was saying about the loaves and the fishes, a story about a boy in the Bible who gave up his lunch and Jesus was able to multiply that, and by way of a miracle could feed thousands upon thousands of people and still have some left over. Well, when you consider this, Ron and Debbie 20 years ago, 2004, out of a van, were handing out bread that was donated from a nearby bakery. By 2005, they were working out of a rumpus room, helping about 30 local families. The local newspaper doing a story on them at the time for the good work that they were doing, 30 families. 2006, with the help of a local PCYC who provided a cold room, they were able to provide help for about 300 families a week, helping some families in rural areas as well. In 2009, they began leasing the Loganholme store here, and a year later, they were able to purchase it. A couple of years later, the Hillcrest store came online. By 2012, they bought the administration building just over here. And then they began leasing in 2015. They were leasing buildings at Yatla, Crestmead and Marsden. And by now we're helping about 30,000 families. They're also able to provide some of the food that went to other charities. Now that work has ceased so they can consolidate and condense and be able to do the work from here. But about 30,000 families in 2015. Now we'll skip a few years, go to 2023, the warehouse at Logan was purchased. That's up the road a bit further where there's a cold room and storage there. And that was able to sort of multiply their base. Well, come 2024, now they're helping 750,000 people a week from Caboolture to Coolangatta. A year, 750,000 people a year from Caboolture to Coolangatta. 40 staff and trainees, 20 volunteers, 5 trucks, 3 of them big, 2 of them small, and they even have click and collect. A $25 trolley, an idea that first came to light in the rumpus room all those years ago, and here we are about to see the opening of the new store after 20 years of work. Now, if that's not a miracle of 2 people with an idea, and generosity and dignity at the heart, then I don't know what is. And if anyone else would like to contribute even further, they can come and speak to one of the volunteers with the Lighthouse Care shirts. All right, so everyone's been waiting for this. Treasurer, we'll get you to do the honours. We've got some scissors if you'd all like to come over for the official opening.